HTML series. So in this video we are going to convert this image into HTML and CSS without using any framework. So if you have any idea, we have already created this with Elementor in the previous section. So if you look at the playlist, so if you get into my channel, you will see this is the video which we have created this kind of template using Elementor, a WordPress plugin. So if you want to learn how to create the same with WordPress, you can visit this video. Fine, now let's work on this. Before starting it, what I have done is I have just added some CDN, font awesome CDN, Google font which is very around, which we will be using it for heading, and the second one is Poppins, which we will be using for all except headings. What do I mean by all except headings? That means except heading tags, paragraph, anchor tag, button, and whatever text is available it will be Poppins, and rest the heading will be barrel around. So fine, now we'll directly jump at the banner section. We'll create a banner section with ID banner, and inside the banner we will have two sections, call 1, which will be blank. Simply we'll make it call into 2. Then the second one, we need the heading, lorem of I text, and then we have paragraph, lorem of 18 words, and then we have a button with text, view details, and then the font awesome icon. So let's search the font awesome icon, arrow, just copy paste the I tag. That's it, that's what we need, because we already used the CDN. Now let's style this. We have banner, then inside banner we have call, which is a class. We have to target the second nth child, and then inside the second we have heading, we have paragraph, and finally we have button. Fine, now we want this banner to have width of 100 vertical width and height of 100 vertical height. That will fit the screen size. And let's add the background URL. Since we are in the same folder, we can directly use bg2 .jpg. If I look on the screen, great. Now what we need to do is we'll make this parent display flex, and then we will have background red, just to differentiate how does it looks. So let's add the column width of 50% each. We want the background color black to the second. Now what we need is, let's add this flex and justify content center, align item center. We want all the content to be at the center of the screen. You see, just add the flex direction column so that we can get one after the other. Let's add the color white to the container so that whatever is there inside will get the color. Now what we need to add the font size of 32 pixel. Paragraph will have font size of 14 pixel. The same is true for button itself. Slightly too much. Let's see whether the font is really applied or not. Yes, font is applied. You have to add a break tag. I have just added the break tag. Let's give width to it. Width only 75%. I think we have to make a container. And let's add the container width. Width of 75% and check how does it looks. Great. Now let's add align self flex start to make this left. Now what we can do is, let's add the font weight normal and check how does it looks. Great. So why don't we add this normal to all the headings. Margin bottom 14 pixel. Great. We want the padding right, top right 30 pixel, bottom left. Not bad. Let's add the line height. Just to get the space between two lines, 1.4, 5, 6, 7, 2. Let's check whether the line height is actually is been applied or not. Line height, yes, it is working. .2 is the right one. Now let's add the margin left 20 pixel, and we want the opacity of the paragraph to be little dull. Background hash just for the changing, just for the color. Just to pick the color, you can always use the Chrome Inspector tool. This is the actual color. Padding. To get space around the text and the border. Top bottom 10, left right 20, and I want the color to be white. Border none. I want the outline to be none. Close. Now let's work on the width. The first will have 60 width and the second one will have the width 40. Close. Or you can add 55 and 45. Great. So we have completed the first section. Let's work on the second section. So let's place this container properly. So let's work on the second section, which is section with grid, and then we have row, and it will have columns. Each column will have text, let's say paragraph, and the number H4. Likewise, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me change the text. Great. Now what we need to do is, let's design it. We have ID grid, then we have row, class row, then inside we have column, inside column we have paragraph, and then we have H6 or H4, I believe. Yep. Great. Now we need to add a minimum height to the container. Min height of how much? 400 pixel, and it will have background of, let's add a single color for now. By the end we'll add gradient. And then we have row. Let's add width of 900 pixel and display flex, background URL. Let's add the first URL, which is Arabic. .png. Let's see how does it looks. So max width, it is underlined. Let me see why. Yep. So we need to add columns, width as 25% each, and height as 100% to the parent. Inspect. So the height of this itself is not defined. Height 100%. Grid, row height. We're not able to fix the row height, so let's add min height of 400 pixel, minimum height of 400 pixel. Adjust the height. Yep. And then we have background, repeat, no repeat, we have used width 900, so we'll use margin 0 and auto to make it at the center. 1, I think it is not 200, it is less. And instead of 900, why don't we make it 1200? And let's try to add background size. Content is this one. Let me check the width. This width is little big, so instead of 400, minimum height 400, where is 400 is here, we'll make it 300, and the height of the container also 300. Great. Now let me drag this a slightly above. Now what we need to do is, I think we have to add the size manually, 120%. 130%. Great. So this is for the first column, Codeignitor child 1. Likewise, we have 4 columns. One, two, three, 4. So the second one is John Cena. The third one is the lady, and finally we have yoga. Refresh it. So the background size of first image is this much, and then we have background size cover. Let's check how does it looks. Still you see let's add contain and check. We'll make it 400. The images are too big. We haven't added background repeat, no repeat. Yes, we have added, should work, but it is not working. Let's add it over here. I think we have to add position also. Background position X. And let's add background position Y also, and we'll work on in Chrome Inspector tool. Inspect, choose this image, 100. So let's try to add 100 under all sections. $75 is very small. Actually, it's the white. Great. It is taking time. I'll do it manually. So we have almost fixed it. Now let's add the background image for each section. This is the first one. So for first background color, so each of them has different background color. Likewise, so let's add the criterion reading to the background, which is a row or the grid. Starting with this color and end with the last color. Refresh it. That's cool. Now let's work on the individual images. Sorry, individual text. Color white. So we need to add we have already have a container which is column. Display flex align item flex end. Let's check out as it looks. We want the flex direction to be column. It's not align self, align content. Let's check by removing the align content. Display flex justify content center align item center. Don't want center, we want flex end. Actually not, it's flex start, and here it's not center, it's flex end. Great, as we thought. We want the font weight to be 900 and font family to be Poppins. Here we have Poppins, just drag, drop it. Let's see how does it looks. And we want the font size to be huge, 60 pixels. Let's see how does it looks. Let's remove by I think it's totally different font. Let's try to open sans instead of Poppins. So I have added Oswald font from Google Font. Now let's work on the paragraph. Font size 50 pixel. Again, this would be huge. 40, 30, 40 is right, I believe. Now we need to add margin bottom minus 15 pixel. Let's check how does it looks. So we have to use the Chrome Inspector tool. Almost right. Margin bottom of minus 60. So we need to add a width to the grid section. So we are starting the first column with the color great. So if you see, this is how it looks. And if you notice, we are getting some space. Margin bottom 0. Save to give minus 34. So if we refresh, great, as we thought. Great. Now let's work on the grid section. Section with ID, course, then we have heading, then we have row, inside row we have column, inside column we have font awesome icon. Let's add any font awesome icon for now. Icon. So before that, inside the column we'll make another inner column so that we can add box shadow around it. Icon, then we have H3, this is heading. Then we have paragraph with text, lorem 18 word lorem. Just copy paste it 3 more times. 2, 3. Then add another row. With a second class, only add 2. If I refresh, this is how it looks. So let's start styling. We have the main container section with ID, course. Inside the course we have direct heading, which is H4. And then we have a row, and then we have column, inside row, inside column we have inner column, inside inner column we have icon, this is icon div. Then inside we have I tag. Inside inner column what we have, H3 and paragraph. Fine. Now let's work on this section. We don't need any mini height for this, so simply leave as it is. Font size 50 pixel, text align center, font weight 900, font family Oswald, margin, top, bottom, left, right. And then we have a row, display flex, column width will have, instead of width we can use flex basis as well, flex basis of 33%. Let's add the row width of 900 pixel. Let's add a margin 0 and auto. We need a margin top and bottom. Margin bottom as 50 pixel. Now let's work on inner column. We need padding, top, bottom 20 pixel, left, right 30 pixel. I think we need text align. Yes, text align center to make the content center. Let's try to add the box shadow. Box shadow 1 pixel, top, bottom, left, right, blur, color black. Let's add margin right 20 pixel. Get into the inspect. Let's reduce the intensity of black. Great. Make this we don't need this inspector. I think we need some more padding. Top, bottom 50. And left, right 40. Great. Now icon font size 30 pixel. $60 pixel. Great. Margin bottom 20 pixel. The same way to H3 and to paragraph. Let's add a font size of 45 pixel, 35 pixel, 25. I think the text is little more. Let me remove this. This is 4 line. This is also 4 line. Just the alignment. We'll leave it as it is. Great. Now if you see, the padding of top and bottom is little more. Here it is more of squarish. let's make it 10 pixel. Yep, now almost close. Now let's work on the second row. Dot second, actually it's on the column. Now what we need is, this is display flex, justify content center, almost there. Now we have completed this as well. Now let's add some courses top bottom 50%. Great. Now let's work on this section. Let's make it section with class action. Then we have column 2 times. The first column will have heading h4, then we have paragraph, lower of 15 text, then we have button, I believe, same as we have added here. Just copy paste it. Then we have image box. Inside that we have image of John Cena, our favorite wrestler of all time. If I refresh, we should not refresh this. If I refresh the HTML page, actually it's PNG. This is how it looks. Now let's get into the HTML. We have action. Inside action we have column. Inside column we have h3. Inside column we have paragraph. Inside column we have button. Again, inside column we have image box. Inside image box we have image. Great. Let's add background color to the main container, which is black. Now let's make this display flex as well. And once it is display flex, again we need to add display flex and flex direction column. Let's add the color as white, just to check. And then we have justify content, center, now if you see, this is how it looks. Let's add the column width as 40%. And add margin 0 auto to be at the center. Let's add the height of the container. And add 300 pixel. doesn't work, we'll make it work. It will work because of great. Display flex and width of 40. Justify content center. Great. Now let's add margin top and bottom 0, left and right 50 pixel, 100 pixel. So close. Now let's work on the font weight 600, font size 40 pixel, text transform uppercase just to have capital color, capital words. I think it's not H3, it is H4. That's the reason it could not get the proper styling. Close. We'll make this as font family Oswald. Great. Now this paragraph will have opacity of 0.7. And padding top and bottom 20 pixel, left and right 0. Now finally the button, which we have already styled it. I'll copy paste the same thing to save our time. Great. Instead of stretching it, we'll make it display inline. Instead of 300, what we can do is we can make it 400. Close. Except the button, we just have to make display inline block so that we can give width. Great. Now let's make this image position absolute, and we'll make this position relative. If you refresh, bottom of 0, and let's make the width as 70%, 90. Great, that matches. Now we just have to add margin top and bottom 100 pixel, left and right 0. Top and bottom 200 pixel, left and right 100 pixel. Great. Now if you see, we are close. Now let's work on the pricing section. Section with ID pricing. Then we have H3. Then let's add a row. Inside row we have column. Inside column we have H5. Then we have icon box, some icon. Let's get the icon from here, paste it. and then we have paragraph with again icon, then some text. Likewise we need 4 times. Then we have h3 with rupees slash, this will be inside span, per month. Then we'll add a button, 4. Likewise we need 3 times, 2 and 3. If I refresh, this is how it looks. Now let's make the HTML. Pricing, inside pricing we have h3, then we have row, then we have column, inside column we have h5, and then we have paragraph or icon box, then we have paragraph, don't forget the high tag. Let's check the icon box spelling. And then we have h6, and then we have span tag, and finally button. Now if I see, this is how it looks. Great. We have added the same thing. I will use the same thing and place it over here for h4, I believe. What is it? It's h3 in lowercase. Text transform uppercase. Now we have row, display flex, width of 900 pixel, inside column we use the width of 33%. The problem with that is we should write this inside inner column. Let's make inner column and place everything inside inner column. And after column we have inner column. We'll add a margin to it. Now we'll use margin 0 and auto to align to the center. Great. So we have to make this to the pricing. Okay, not to the pricing. So if you see, actually it's working as we thought. We just have to make text center to the inner column. let's get into the inner column and let's add text align center and see how does it looks. Great. Let's add a margin bottom of 500 pixel just to have some space. Great. Now we just have to make we just need the relevant icon. Let's give font size of 100 pixel. Let's see how does it looks. I know it is too much. 70 P. Sorry for that. Let's add a background color to inner column. Hash UT EBE. Now let's give margin of right 20 pixel just to have some space. Let's add padding 20 pixel on all sides. Font size 20 pixel. Great. Now we have list is, we'll leave the list as it is. Now let's work on H6. Font size 50 pixel again. 30 and then font weight of 900. Margin top of 10 pixel. Top bottom left right 0 and finally padding 20 pixel, border 2 pixels solid black, border radius 20%, just have some rounded corner. Top bottom left right 30 pixel. %, 4 and the color be black. Font weight of 900. Okay, we'll leave as it is. So we are so close, except we have to make this font weight font family parcel. Great. That's all for this video. We have completed it perfectly. Thank you so much for listening.